Black people understand the line is drawn in the sand. Oh, Voice Watkins trying to rhyme. Black people understand the line is drawn in the sand. No reparations 2020, no Biden presidency. You see, that's very important because you see these different things happening and you have to make sure that American blacks are a protected class. You have to make sure, we have to come out of the mindset and get into a mind state that we will be a protected class. We have to get out of the mindset that some people have, that we have to keep on having non-profits to do things to make money, when in actuality we need to have for-profit organizations that are primarily supported by American blacks, and then secondarily supported by African blacks, Jamaican blacks, Haitian blacks, Dominican blacks, Puerto Rican blacks, Brazilian blacks, right? Our infrastructure predominantly supported by American blacks, which means that our mindset has to change from nonprofit to for-profit for the purpose of the building of our American black economy, right? So we have to deal with this, and reparations is the part. We've talked to you before about Biden's plan. All you have to do is go to Google, type in Biden's plan. Biden's plan within his plan for American blacks is loans to get a home with a $15,000 rebate. What's the average cost of a home today? $150,000. Now this is what, if you remember, this is what Kamala was kicking, right? She was kicking that. Now, out the platform, there's nothing in there about the $2,000 a month, like how the one Asian dude that was running, all that is out. They had pitched that, but then they threw that out, right? That's not in there. But loans for a $150,000 house, you're going to get a $15,000 rebate. Well, what are you going to do with 10% of $150,000? Absolutely, positively nothing. That's going to be gone because you got to pay not only the mortgage, but you got to pay the property tax. That's going to be gone. Okay, that's one thing. But you go further in this plan, what does he do for immigrants? Tax identification number, free healthcare, free subsidized housing in the suburbs, a guaranteed job, meaning that you're going to be training your replacement. We've talked about that on hashtag TFRPodcastLive in between episodes 121 through 128. You just go watch it. You know, we've given you all the information that you need between episodes 104 through 110, and from episodes 121 through 128, we've given you all the information you need to know about COVID and what's at stake in this election, right? Getting loans puts you in a potential situation to put you in debt. Oh, that's the biggest trick ever. Meanwhile, again, the immigrant. Tax identification number. They're not even a citizen. Driver's license. Subsidized housing in the suburbs. Free health care, no co-pays. And the right to vote. The Democrats always hope that the immigrants will vote Democrat because of what they do for them. but they usually look at the power dynamic and say, this is a republic, this is what, we see, so we're going to vote Republican. And this is what you see. So this is a kick in the teeth, and so that's why that's why Boyce saying black people understand the line is drawn in the sand. No reparations 2020, no Biden presidency, right? No Biden presidency. We need to be a protected class. We need to have the reparations funds paid to us. We need to have what the immigrant has, which is we already have a social security number, and we're already a citizen. So the TIN number, we might need a EIN number so we can start a business. Yeah.
Right.
Let's switch this up. Come on. We give solutions here. That's why they're trying to block us, because we give solutions here. Then we need that free subsidized housing in the suburbs. And when we say free subsidized housing, we're not talking about projects. We're talking about when we say they're going to get free subsidized housing, they're going to get a nice 2-story home. It's going to look like they belong. And so that's what we need. We need that. We need that protected class. We also need those guaranteed jobs, right? While we're able to create our business. And we need free health care. And I would expand out to be kind, but not before us, but all American citizens should have that free health care that the immigrant is getting for coming over. Yeah. So we bring solutions here at TFR Podcast Live, hashtag TFR Podcast Live, and TFR Podcast Live OB, hashtag TFR Podcast Live OB, which is observations, our opinions on situations that are happening to us today. And what do you have to say about that, Tanya?
That meme is absolutely correct, and it's high time that we began to stand up, and throughout our conversations over the other episodes, I was thinking there has to come a time where we stand up and say, well, you know what? No, it's not going to be that way. No, we're not voting at all. No, we're not. We're not going to participate. We're going to sit this one out as a unified collective front. We're going to sit this one out because every year after year after year, every 4 years, y'all lie. Every 4 years, you tell us this, and we get that. Every 4 years, you have problems with your memory as to what you said. Every 4 years, something else takes precedent over what it is that you promised us. Every 4 years, we're sat on the back burner while you continue to make decisions that benefit other people. Now, you have the unmitigated gall to bring in and tell immigrants, as you're trying to draw immigrants. Why? Because you want to pay them pennies on the dollar. Yeah, you're going to give them a job, but you're not going to have to pay them as much as the people who are citizens. Yeah, you're going to give them a TIN number because they're not going to be classified as a citizen per se. So you're able to pay them at lower wages, and they may not fall under the laws of minimum, or probably just barely minimum wage. So of course you're doing that. But we have to say, no matter how, we have to be willing to make sacrifices. And see, the problem is they're able to run roughshod over us the way they have because they know that there is a certain demographic of us that are not going to be inconvenienced and not going to lay our acquisitions and our prosperity down, which really is not your prosperity as long as you got to pay for it. Is a segment of us that's not going to be willing to make the sacrifice in order to put us on an even playing field. Long as you have yours, you are all right with it. But see, here's the thing. They will allow you to sit in that position, and at the end, they can rip the rug right out from under you. Now you on the playing field, you on the lower end of the field, when we all could have been on the upper end of the field. And So he's saying black people understand the line is drawn, and they're saying this is it, is what that means. Either you're going to mess or get off the pot. That's what that means. That means either you're going to stand with a group of people and say, hey, if we're not going to get our reparations, if you're not going to, while you issuing out, and at what expense are you giving all these things to the immigrants? At what expense are you using our reparations money to give all of this out to the immigrants? No, we're not going to have it. Either we get the reparations money that we're due so that we can move forward in the things that we need to get done, else you're not bringing those people in here and giving them all that. Not only the reparations money, we want the other stuff you offered them. We want the free health care. We want better opportunities to open businesses. We want the subsidized housings in good neighborhoods, nice neighborhoods. We want that because we work for that and we deserve that. And we're no longer going to let you make the decision about whether you're going to do it not peacefully. We're not going to let you peacefully continue to run over us like a Mack truck or a tank in a war. You're not going to continue to do that, and we're not doing anything about it. So we're not going to fight, because y'all got a bad habit of wanting to label some some verbiage as terrorists or whatever. Just terrorists. You naming everything terrorism. Oh, stop it already. You labeling anything that's not in agreement with y'all as terrorism. This is not what this is. This is saying that you have been extremely one-sided, extremely unfair, extremely without a cause to a people to whom some you brought in, some were already here, but nevertheless, this country was built, the majority, on our backs. Nevertheless, most of the things are modern day conveniences, a traffic light, clothes dryer. It's about 50 or more things, actually more than that. Hundreds of things that we use in our everyday life. In our everyday life, life would not be as convenient as it is for everybody without these modern day appliances, conveniences, flipping the light switch. All of these things was on our creativity, coming out of our brains. And you have the nerve to continue to want to run over us like we're nothing. So you have recategorized slavery and kept us in it still. We're not going to do that anymore. And unless you are willing to stand with us who are saying, we're not doing that anymore. We're not doing it. And some of us are willing to say, I'm one of those people, I'm like a kamikaze operative. I'm one of those people, I will shut everything down. I will throw the cell phone out the window. I will get rid of every modern day convenience. I will get rid of stuff, and I will operate in a bare minimum just to get this done. And you can't be jellyback about it. You got to do it.
You know what? If black people threw away all their cell phones today, that would cripple everything, and they would come to the table and say, what do you want? See, that's what marching was about. That's what marching was for during the Montgomery bus boycott. That's what it was for. It was for that fact to cripple them economically. If you're just marching and you're not doing, you haven't set any plan in place that will cripple what you want to get done, to get the result that you want. If it's not crippling them financially, you're just marching. You're just out there. What are you doing?
Exactly.
What are you doing? What is your purpose? What is your point? What are you doing? Right? So if we threw the cell phones down today, it would cripple them by the end of the week. End of the week. What's today?
Yeah.
What's today?
Today's Thursday, isn't it?
Thursday.
Today's Thursday.
They will be crippled on Friday.